Season 63 is done and dusted, and Supercell should be back any day from their month-long vacation. I assume the Boom Beach developers were off as well, but I don't have full confirmation of that. We are going to collect our diamonds. We're going to make sure we got Code Zmod in that shop. Then we're going to talk briefly about Season 63. Season 63 was a long one, Extended Patrol, I believe it was called, and there were so many different metas, so many ups and downs, and then it all kind of came crashing into sort of a dumb finish, in my opinion. And dumb is not the right word, and this video is definitely not in 4K. Big shout out to Mackett for sharing it with me. It was late Sunday night for me, and I had to get my alt into 23, and he sent me this replay, and my mind imploded. And I beat some very, very good players with this strategy, getting times like 2 minutes 24 seconds, 2 minutes 19 seconds consistently. And notice that this is not heavy rushing. This is heavy clearing, complete brain off clearing. Just keep brick alive and just go. Like I beat the Donkey Monkey, did this like crazy good attack against me, and I beat him by like 45 seconds. So it was a very, very weird end to the season. I think I went 10-2 to get into rank 23 on my alt. My main was not in the global top 500. I hope that I was of assistance to you guys this season, but I definitely was not at my best. We do have the Tiny Shock right now, and I'm going to talk a little bit about hike-in camping. So I need 2 things from you guys, or I guess 3 things if you include Code Zmod in that shop. Number 1, your best hike-in camping hack, whether it be a deck of cards or hot chocolate mix or a bottle of whiskey or whatever it might be. Please do let me know that. Also, do let me know how you did in Season 63, if you enjoyed it, how you felt about it, what your favorite meta was, all of those warshipy type things. I am going to do an operation attack to kill some time because I love not only that gunboat skin, but also the Tiny Shock. Tiny Shock making for a lot of fun. Ooh, can we solo Torrent? Can we? Nah, probably not. Soloing Torrent is pretty rare, and that's a little bit awkward. Anytime I see a 189 Torrent, my ears kind of perk up. And by the way, just because you don't play warships doesn't mean that you can't claim the reward. This account, 0 battles fought. We get a whole bunch of diamonds. We get a whole bunch of trader tokens. So if you're looking for a reason to rush your headquarters, I mean, there's heroes, there's buildings, there's troops, there's events, but warships, get up to headquarters level 10 ASAP. Can we do rogue? I should pre-scout these things. Yes, we probably can. Low-ish health. Can we solo this? Probably not, but those boom cannons on that far side making the biggest issue for us. I'm going to scout. Then we'll come back, and I'm going to do Ransom. This is not a difficult attack. This is one that any one of you should be able to do. Note, I'm going to draw some lines here just because I feel like it's super, super important. We are going to do some zooming in. So those rockets do not reach the ground. This line right here is where your first troop is deployed. This line right here is where your first smoke is deployed. Don't need smoke on this one because our troops are going to walk underneath the water. No smokes required there. And then your first flare is going to be right in line with the front. That's too thick of a line. In the front, that's way too thick of a line. Let's see if we can't change that down to a little skinny thing. Right in line with the front of that sniper, but up against that wall. So we're going to go something like this. Draw a nice... Come on, iOS. Why are you not letting me draw a straight line? There we go. We're going to draw it right across there. That's where your first flare is going to be. Troops are going to walk up through here. They are going to clear all of those mines. That is going to be bullets expertise. And then we're going to flare behind the core, and it's going to be magical, and everything's going to go well. Now, most people... Uh-oh, what happened there? Come on back to us. iOS does not like screenshotting. So now that we're unfrozen, we're going to jump on in, and I'm going to do the double on this one. I love doing the double on this hit. I find it to be the most fun. You don't necessarily need to do that, but with all these rockets down below the core, it helps fairly immensely. Now, hoping that my ranges were not wrong, we're going to walk along the shore here, dropping just, that rocket launcher just turned, and we're going to lose 1 or 2 Zookas on the walk, and I am already wrong throwing that flare up, and that flare is fairly gosh darn important to make sure that bullet goes in the right spot. If you have your flare wrong, bullet will walk on the wrong side of the core and you will be very, very unhappy. We're going to use an artillery there to clear that mine, and then we're going to flare onto that critter launcher. I love this hit. It looks super impressive. If you ever want to jump into a task force and make people think that you are an absolute god, this is a great one for it, and it's very, very, very easy to pull off. I just don't know how things are going to go as far as coming back around with those rocket launchers below the core. And we're going to throw a smoke. Bullet's going to get underneath all the things. I'm going to throw a tiny shock on those 2 things. And then I'm going to flare onto there. And now, like I said, things could go a little bit sideways. So we're going to throw some remote or tiny shocks on those rocket launchers just to make gosh darn sure that they don't turn towards our Zookas, and then just hanging out here, click and taunt every 7 seconds or so, and Bob is your uncle, and down goes all of the things. Tiny shock making that hit way, way easier. What you can also do is throw an artillery on those 2 buildings behind the core, and then not flare the core, and then your troops will clear them before they clear everything else, and I think we still would have gotten hit by those rocket launchers below the core. Things get a little bit awkward when you have extra buildings down there. Speaking of awkward, I don't have a heck of a lot else to talk about. We've got the tiny shock. That is great. The boom pass here, I have the boom pass on this one. I need to do a bit more push and get way, way, way up here to unlock that Quintagon. That skin is fairly darn cool looking, but there is now less than 6 days left. So upgrade any hero. That is going to be a little bit frustrating because I'm pretty sure that, do we have the ability to upgrade any of these heroes? Can't upgrade you. Oh, there we go. We just need to get some gold so we can upgrade Heavy Choppas. You know what? Let's tap into our giant reserves. We'll go to the bank, take out some of our 232 million gold. If you're wondering how the heck I got all that gold, it is by not touching that boat. Except for when you guys are around, I only touch the boat when you guys are watching. So we are going to upgrade Mr. Heavy Choppas right here, right now. That's going to finish that one off, assuming, yep, it is going to finish in time. Moving on down, destroy headquarters last. That is the one that I absolutely don't like doing. I like destroying the headquarters first, and then when we're using a hero only. You guys, I've already walked everyone through all of these things, and if you want to finish your missions quickly, the easiest way to do it is just go full boost. You know what? I'm going to suggest that to the developers right now. I'm going to suggest win without boosting and win full boosted. Both of those things fairly interesting, I think. By the way, Chimera would have been even easier than Ransom to pull off for you guys, but I figured I'd do it a little bit harder than not. Bullet, and if you do end up spawning, like I've got all 74, 75, 78s, if you do end up spawning a 69 or lower, I try to not use bullet on them because I want to kill some troops. Like just taking this down by sending bullet back here would be beyond easy, like beyond easy when full boosted. But that wouldn't be all that fair. I find that I judge my opponents. I don't know if you guys do or not, but as soon as I see green statues and blue statues all over the place, I kind of lose some compassion for them. I do definitely appreciate the fact that there are different style of players in this game. Could you imagine if everyone had purple and blue statues? This game would be beyond boring. So those players with green and not so much green, more blue, statues. I do definitely appreciate them being in the game. It makes it more fun, makes it more interesting. We're just going to stand here with Bullet, though. Could have used the Tiny Shock on the shock launcher, but as soon as you need to tiny shock it twice, you might as well just use Artillery or Barrage. We're just going to keep pumping all of our GBE into this energy drink. When you're using energy drink, you should not use it like this, because you want Bullet to get down in the red. He shoots faster, does more damage, and all the rest of it, but needed to speed things up. Speaking of flip-flop, I am one of those weirdos who hikes in flip-flops. We are going to be doing, like I said, a lot of kilometers, and I tend to do it in flip-flops. If there's anyone else out there that can back that up, like if you got, like, I hike up ridiculously steep mountains on these black diamond rated trails and hike faster than most people in flip-flops, and I get a sense of accomplishment when I hike past them and they're wheezing with their trekking poles and I've got flip-flops on. I also find that hiking boots don't feel as good on my feet. So a little bit of Boom Beach mixed in with a little bit of me. I am going to be offline completely Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday in the long weekend. So I figured I was going to skip putting this video out, but I also felt a sense of obligation for season 63 coverage and just to get out there and say hi to you guys. So a little bit of an awkward rambling video, but I guess that sort of sums up the channel at times. So anyways, that is going to be it for me. Thank you for coming in. Let me know your camping hacks, your Warship Season 3 63 goodness, how you threw Code Zmod in that shop if you want to go for the full trifecta. I shall talk to you soon, though. Thanks for coming in. Peace.